Welcome back, everyone, for the next part of Limbus Company. And here we are, another little side story, the Mnestic experience. Oh my souls, we're getting ever closer to your control. This is going to get better and better. Just you wait. Soon enough, there's going to be a smile on your face. But before we jump into that, I should probably mention something that you guys have probably already noticed by now. The refracted railway has been open for a while now. And at this point, you guys are probably wondering, hey Ray, when exactly are you going to do the railway? Right? And to that, I have to say one little thing. I might have decided to just skip this one. Yeah, I know that sounds disappointing. I know that, especially since they usually like to include a couple of new boss fights in them. Some really cool boss fights. I've seen in the trailer that there's a dragon in there. But they also like to include the latest boss fights in their railways as well. And considering from my experience fighting any and all of the Nurse Fathers, I just have to say I don't want to do it. Every single one of them was a pain. I don't know what exactly they are doing with them in this one, but I know for a fact that I don't want to fight it again. Especially since they usually like to, you know, let us fight multiple boss fights in a row. I remember that during the boss fights themselves, my crew was usually falling apart near the end of each of them. So, yeah, I just don't want to deal with that. They're covered in red coins, they're covered in anti-stagger mechanics, and they do so much damage constantly. I just don't wanna... I simply don't want to think about them again. Unless, of course, they're on our side. If they're on our side, it's fine. I don't mind that. I don't mind them to be here. But I just don't want to fight them. I just don't want to fight them again. I hope you guys understand that. Maybe in the next couple of IDs, I get such a huge power boost that I'm not even worried about them anymore. And then I can do it afterwards. But right now, I just don't wanna. So yeah, let's not hang ourselves in this little corner here and worry about this thing in its entirety. I mean, it is here to stay for the next couple of weeks, couple of months, right? Until there's a replacement in Kanto. Which Kanto are we right now? 9? Kanto 10. Yeah, until Kanto 10 is done, I don't really need to worry for this one to be replaced. So there's always an option for us to do it later. Yeah, this is always an option. But still, I don't really wanna get stuck on this right now. Especially with this one around the corner, right? This one's probably going to be so much more fun than that. So yeah, without any further ado, let us just enjoy a fun little story with our crew. It's just us, N-Corp, and a whole ton of passerbys who are constantly moving, apparently. That's probably for the best, though. If they don't pay attention to us, we can slip right through them. Not entirely sure if this entire district hates Prosthetic or not, but considering our previous experience with N-Corp, I kinda assume that they did, or that they do. So we should probably try to stay hidden, shouldn't we? But then again, we have Basalt, everything's going to be fine. And not only that, look at that! The girls and the detectives are around here as well! As well as Kim, apparently. Yeah. The Blade Lineage is around here as well. Could already see it before in the Mirror Dungeon because they were asking for all sorts of Blade Lineage IDs. So I can't wait to see what he is going to do now. During the last couple of chapters, he was just not there. At all. But we knew that he was recovering. And we knew that he joined our squad, right? So this is going to be refreshing. Alright then. But before we start with our journey in our story, we first need to make sure that everyone is in the right mind state. Consolation session. It's been very, very long. Gregor, how are you feeling today, huh? Or Faust, how are you feeling today? Ever since the gazelles of things, you've been kind of down. No, wait. For this one, we should go about it like, let's see. Faust? Dante? No. Heathcliff has been in a vanguard for so long. I should put him back and maybe let him rest. Hey, Dante! Oh, hey there, Faust. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say something? Well, I have provided you an answer to your question, but you exhibit no observational response. Is the sinner's combat performance deteriorating beyond manageable parameters? Oh no, nothing like that. Well, at the very least, things aren't really that bad. But it's just hard to focus on one conversation when I'm trying to support battles happening in a completely different place at once. On top of that, Rudia's shopping shadow is starting to get a little distracting. You're still trying to practice with your ability. I mean, that's good, but don't you also need to rest, Dante? A few days after we've entered Encorp's district, the bus pulled over in the back streets of Encorp to take care of a distortional case. This contract was supposed to be handled jointly with the LCD team, but distortion suddenly started cropping up all over an area of the back streets called the Butter Street, without any coherent pattern, no obvious point of origin or route of spread. Nothing convenient like that, and I have no choice but to split the sinners into several groups and send them out in all sorts of directions. See, Otis, Ishmael, Sinclair, Don, Yiseng, and Mesols were all sent to the Renoir point with the LCD. Heathcliff, Gregor, and Onglu were suppressing distortion that had shown up on the other districts. And with our onboard stock scrapped down to the bottom, Rhodia and Ryosho, who were done with their shares of suppression work, were put in charge at buying supplies for the bus. And as for Faust, well, she has decided to stay behind with me on the bus. I kind of wanted to get through the consolation session that I've been putting off to, and thought I might as well get myself some much needed practice with handling the new gold row power that I have acquired. Dante, I know it's good to practice multitasking, but maybe not in the middle of a consolational session where you actually have to listen to the heart of the sinner. It seems kind of disrespectful, doesn't it? Well, to reiterate, there's no issue requiring special concern regarding Faust. That is a lie! I know what was going on in your head, and those guys are horrible people! They're not even treating you as a proper Faust anymore! They called you naive and foolish! They were basically bullying you! Why are you not mentioning that? Then again, I guess that's a Faust issue. Faust doesn't like to talk about the Gazelle stuff directly. It is true that Faust has on several recent occasions expressed a certain dissatisfaction with a certain Faust. However, those instances should be classified as a mere personal grievance. Yeah, I mean, you could say that, but to me it seems like it's more of a targeted attack. I mean, that's good if that is all there is to it, but this was not the first time that Faust had seemed unlike herself. There had been times before when she spent far longer alone than usual, lost in thought, moments when she could not produce immediate answers to questions from the other sinners, or for me. Would it be that you can't access the gazelle shaft right now? May I ask your basic for that interference? Or at a basis? Oh, well, you know, it's cause you're acting a lot like when you were back in the warp train. It appears there remains occasions on which you are still capable of surprising fast. That. Oh, so I was right about that! You really were cut off from the gazelle shaft! Those pricks! It was not intended as a confirmation of your conjecture. But you can't really deny it either. Your access has been limited. My god. Maybe she's saying that while she can technically access the gazelle shaft, it may as well be that she can't. I wish I could ask more and get to the bottom of this, but the way that she typesets the subject told me that prying wouldn't really give me any sort of further insight. Right. Guess I won't press you if you don't want to talk about it. Your reserve is appreciated. Then, should we move on? Ah yes, your constellation is the next agenda. After cross-referencing the records pertaining to the recent events in the House of Spiders, it would appear that the memories concerning the individual as assigned as Sora and Ren are currently remaining only within you, Dante. As such, should the influence of Ryosho and Hassan lead to further omission in the official records, the manager will be responsible for supplementing all the necessary information. Right. It's actually not the first time that I was the only one left with intact memories, you see. Maybe we should look into that. Ooh. Ah, right. Heathcliff. K-Corp. That's right. Despite K-Corp's memory-write procedure, Catherine's erasure by the Golden Rose power, and of course the Arayashiki severing people from their existence, I was the only one who remembered what had transpired. But ironically enough, the memories that I had prior to swapping my head with this clock still show no sign of returning. I want my old memories come back then. Is it because of this clock head thing? Maybe. Speculation based on your experience with the bus team thus far will not meaningfully contribute to the recovery of your former memories, Manager. Inductive reasoning, conducted from memories with gaps after all, is bound to have structural limitation. Bungie would serve as an adequate analogy. Bungie? Yes, Bungie. Receiving feed and increasing its body mass alone would provide it no meaningful basis for identifying the purpose of its rearing, even at the terminal stage when exposed to kitchen instrument and the heat of the stove. Its limited experience would prove inadequate to constitute an understanding of its ultimate fate and purpose. Likewise, the ultimate answer to your doubts can only be obtained from the whole of the experience that you will have to accumulate at the terminus of your entire journey. That is, if you unlocked the missions. Because the treasure awaits at the end of the road, huh? At the end of this hell. And that treasure is going to give me back my memories and my head. Also, indeed, at the end of the road, you will be able to engrave your aspect. My aspect? I still have no idea exactly what that aspect means, or even whether it is an object at all. But if I know one thing about it, it is that the me from before all of this began had wanted it very badly, obsessively, desperately so. It's more like an instinct knowledge, but with my memories gone, that feeling, how strong it is, does not change the fact that it is just another word with no discerning mental image. And you're not going to tell me what it actually is, are you? You know, that aspect, because it's clear that you know something about it. What it means, or maybe even why I want it that much. If it remains a piece of information that has to be disclosed to you, then no. I'm unable to tell you yet. See. Pay it no mind though, but you are still following your star, acceptably. Please concentrate on the journey instead. Maybe the aspect has something to do with the star. Wonder if she's going to answer us if we can just guess it instead. But then again, there are certain limitations to her. She's not allowed to speak of it too soon, otherwise she's going to be punished. For the corporation itself, and of course the Faust, huh? Yeah. Anyways, more importantly, have you grown accustomed to the incomplete power yet? Current observations suggest that you have yet to reach at that level. Well, I've gotten pretty used to focusing on one place at a time, but keeping track of several places at once is still a bit rough for me. True. Orta's team is doing well in combat, even without direct supervision, and Rodia's team is shopping, and is not really engaged in battle at the moment. Taking my mind off of them would prove much easier. But that wouldn't really give me the much needed practice, so I'm doing my best to keep an eye on every sinner status. Sufficient familiarity should result in substantial technical values. You would even be able to cast a wider net in order to gather informations, and even employ previously unavailable technical patterns. True. And I also be able to tell when it's a bad time to call on someone. Right. Even as I continue talking with Faust, I make sure not to stop observing the place where each group is, and what they're doing. Yep, pulling Heathcliff to the rear was the right call after all. I don't see any sort of injuries. This team is still doing pretty well, even without my directions. Dante, you are having a conversation with Faust! You're not listening! As for Rhodia, wait, did she just stuff all of the pastries and bread that she brought into her pockets? How did she even manage to do that? In Otis' group, let's see. It looks like they joined up with the LCD team without any sort of issues. It's getting darker! The LCD. And that guy over there must be... Oh, hang on. Faust, there's a dude I've seen before, but it seems a bit different from what I remember. Oh? But just specify the issue. Well, I'm monitoring the situation right now. We should probably join up with them too. Okay. How about we end the constellation session here? This is rather precipitous, Dante. If the incident is of a serious nature, then perhaps a request of support from the LCCD might be of... And? What's that? And an image? Oh, no, don't worry about that. It's not an incident at all. Let's see. Now, I wouldn't say it's not serious. What did you see? And, can you depict what you are seeing on the monitor as well? For others to see as well? I mean, that would definitely be kind of handy. Especially if you want to, share informations with Faust, huh? Anyways, off we go to the meeting point. This is going from bad to worse, really. Dante seems to be tied up helping the other groups as well. Orta's command calls have been working out well enough. I give her that. We even managed to hold the line better than expected, but we are definitely starting to feel the strain here. Huh? What do you mean strain? My tactics are perfect! Otis? Where did she go? Hey, why are you waving your hand all of the... hand signals? Ishmael? What the hell? What is that signal? What is swinging the arm sideways even supposed to mean? Huh? You don't know about that? It's scatter! Damn it! We have to scatter! Well, I guess Don and Sinclair are dead now. Or maybe not. Ooh! That was close! We almost got flattened there! damn it! Even rookies with nothing but the most rudimentary of military training would have recognized a hand signal like that! Well, we're not really trained soldiers here, are we? You never taught us any of them! Verily, the flourish of single-hand dot indeed may boast of chivalry elegance. Yet, when thou suddenly waves thy arm like that, clenching and unclenching thy hand in that mystical fashion, only to suddenly turn in tail, forsooth, I am left bereft of understanding what that means to me. To think that of all the personnel in the team, only the Swarby has the discipline to interpret a basic field sign. I only picked it up during my sailing days, you see? And realistically speaking, did I really expect ordinary people like the others to understand a professional military sign like that? True. This is just unacceptable. After all the operation, all you have been deployed under my lead, you're still ignorant when it comes to non-verbal signs? I don't really think that Dante would have known these signs either. Yep, might as well be splitting hairs there. Literally. Let us appease our agenda's heart and follow Miss Otis' instructions for now. We should disperse and withdraw later? What's that? Elsa! Megaton landing! What the hell? Eh? Was that cool? Huh? Let's face it, I know how to make one heck of an entrance. Whoa! Wait, aren't you supposed to be cleaning up the distortion upstairs or something? Oh, finito a million years ago. You guys were taking forever though, so I figured I would take a peek and lend a hand. You're welcome. I see. Split by your thundering descent, the floor's form and shape are now crushed beyond mending, sunken deep enough to be linked to the inception of a wellspring? What? Ah, don't you worry about that. That's all the after teams to take care of. They clean up my mess. Anyways, that should be all of them, right? The force of your landing has neutralized the last of the distortion outside of the building. Good. Great. Can you check on the distorted peeps' face and clothes? Their faces? Well, their faces are all segmented. Kinda makes my skin crawl. It's not really a pleasant sight. As for their tier, well... This one is apparently from the sweepers, and that one yonder bears a tier of an ordinary fixer. A sweeper? And this distortion that I landed on is probably a local resident, judging by the clothes. Did any of you happen to see anything nearby bursting with a big pop and flash? No? Not really. Okay. You know what? Then let's all head upstairs. This impression request is kind of a pain, you see? We'll need to put together a nice neat plan before we start poking it too hard. A plan, says thou? How? Was this not a mere matter of slaying the distortion where they stand? Oh? Wait, did nobody brief you guys about this mission? This has often been the structure of our assignment. We are given instruction, and then we perform them. And only afterwards do we begin to receive the nature and contour of the task to which we have committed our hands. Really? Wow. I guess every department has their own ways of doing things. But no big deal. I'll explain everything once we're upstairs. Oh, and by the way, you didn't get to meet the whole team last time, did ya? Only our new girl. This time, that dude, I mean, Mr. Bamboo-Headed Kim is also here. So... Huh? Wait, is he okay now? Oh yeah, sure he is. You'll be surprised when you see just how okay he really is. But last time, you said he was still under treatment. To be more precise, I believe Miss Angdu stated that his mind is yet to regain its former tranquility. Huh? Oh, that! What? You will get it once you see him. I feel we've just been ending up having the same conversation twice. if I say anything about it now. Okay. Oh, there they are. You have arrived. Oh, it's so blinding. It's so bright. Midday sun is pouring in like crazy. Yet the warm tickle of the sunbeam is rather agreeable. No, this is not sunlight at all. What is it? Because unlike this, there's more to the sunshine than it is warm. And what exactly is this light? Why is this thing on again? It's bright enough to fry my eyeballs! Oh, apologies, Lady Erza. I'm yet to be accustomed to the machine. This is my first time laying a hand upon a complex working of such contraption. It activates on its own accord, and I've yet to discover the method by which it may be silenced. Is it a lamp then? That is why I told you to leave it alone in the first place. Fiddling with things that you don't understand usually ends with something, or even you, getting broken. Nothing good comes of it, I tell you. But Mentor, Lady Moses has instructed me that in every moment and event, clues are hidden under the veil of one's surrounding and must be examined with care. Yes, and it only works if you're saving about the neck. Hang on. Did you just say mentor? I had not yet been afforded a proper opportunity to introduce him to you guys. This here is the esteemed leader of the Blade lineage, who is all but a master under who I have apprenticed. Do you really have to dress it up like that, though? I told you, I only took on the role because there weren't anyone else around to take that job. I see. Switch. Switch! Where's the switch? Ah, there it is. Huh? Oh, she looks so sad. What the? Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh, he looks so lazy. What the hell? I thought he was there. He was hiding under the lights. Oh god. Goodness. Known as Bamboo-Headed Kim, huh? Yes, that's me. Guess I should say pleased to meet you, huh, folks? The hell? Where's the brooding samurai? The silent and super serious samurai that I've seen from Masol's story. I thought he would be something like Masol because he was the one who got the idea. Especially after that rampage when he got crazy and tried to kill everyone. It's the same guy? What the hell? Okay. Searching for the inflection points? I don't even want to worry about the task right now. I want to see more about this guy. This guy who's right there. What the? Okay, more often than not, first impressions are prone to change. Yes. The baboon-headed Kim that I remember was a man who would drown in his own fathom, blaming himself for his powerlessness, for his listlessness, with a heavy voice, when he was worried about his former master, right? That, however, has been, he was distorted and sunk into himself. So I figured his original personality might be somewhat different. But this is not just somewhat different. His personality isn't even in the same ballpark as my expectations. You're telling me that this guy here is Bamboo-Headed Kim? Yep, we even double-checked with Elsa, and she said he really is the same guy. How? How? Whoa, is that fire on your head not hot at all? Fascinating stuff. Can you please check again? Just for me? Just in case? Maybe there's a mix-up. I really can't wrap my head around this. The fact that this sullen, serious man who we had fought, just look what he's doing. He's rubbing my face all over like he's checking out some kind of mental piece of ornaments. Whoa, that's a lot of ticking and talking going on there. That's supposed to sound like them talking to you? Really? Further confirmation would be redundant, Dante. This individual is conclusively identical to the one designated as Bamboo-Headed Kim. I've got no idea what you folks are so suspicious about. Angdu, just what exactly have you been telling people out there about me? They're all staring at me like they've seen a ghost. Well, I told them that you were a gallant and formidable warrior, Mentor. But they don't look like they've heard the most flattering things about me either. Yeah. There. Can't you hear it? The faint undercurrent of disappointment in the ticking? I also told them that you are a man of few words, but with much affection for the followers under your command. Do? Yes? That's a complete and utter lie! Man of a few words? It's definitely not something that you can say about a guy who's as talkative as me! Don't you think? Yet I spoke no falsehood. Although your conduct is rather shallow and perhaps less refined for a leader of our organization, you are much more reserved and taciturn when conversing with those unfamiliar to you. Are you not? That just means that he's shy! That just means that he is shy, Angdu! No matter who one may be, one is bound to inspire their approval and disapproval from those around him. So I refrain from mentioning any truth that might divide the later. To even hint at anything that might tarnish the reputation of my master would not be unlike spitting on his name, and mine by extension. I simply had no reason to put on air in front of my own folks. In any case... Oh, can't see anything if I block this part, huh? How many fingers am I currently holding up? Those are not my eyes, though! And you know, your own folks, sir? Then you have already acknowledged and accepted that you now belong to Limbus Company. Oh, that's good. Then why didst thou not pay a visit to the LCE then? Verily, when one's mind is plagued by absence of tranquility, venturing forth into the open air and touchable field of grass clarets the storm of the heart. An asset of the company is expected to act in the company's interest. Yet, for whatever reason, I didn't see you fighting on the field of battle during the operation of Spider prior. You will have to account for your absence in the mission. Orders addressed Kim as though she were conducting a formal investigation here. Every word was flat and hard. It was obvious that she was not about to let her guard drop anytime soon here. After all, he is still the new guy. Huh? Wait, a mission? Oh, that one. Kim finally seemed to incline to a more serious disposition. He stopped peering into my face and turned towards Otas. Although his hand was still on my head. Personal space is not a thing with this guy, is it? God! Alright, clearly there's some disconnection in expectations here. Listen here, you, I'm really not about all that hard, bothersome work stuff. Do you get what I mean? Huh? The real disconnection was between his stoic expression and the words coming out of his mouth. What? So let's talk about the kind of fella that I am. Meet the resident layabout, who's forced to do his job, with a frown too, that I might add. Only when he's got absolutely no other choice. I'm really not some big shot that Angdu has apparently been promoting me as, folks. I'm sorry. And I very much would like to stop getting roped into stuff that keeps putting my life on the line as well. I mean, it's not really that courageous. Okay, fine then. Then why did you decide to join the LCD in the first place, if you'd rather stay unemployed? No, never mind that. They probably forced you to stay, didn't they? You catch on quickly, I see. First they spout this nonsense about distortion and all, and then hired me, calling me a company-owned resource or something. And the other day, they were again on about that stuff. What's his name? Bonborough? Yeah, they invited me on a tour to another department to listen in on some important presentations. And I accepted, of course. I thought it would be a fine opportunity to broaden my perspective. Dear, there are times when your committing to duties shine brighter than the sun. I find that attunement so dazzling that I have to squint when I'm looking at you. Who knows, maybe that is why I'm wearing this bamboo hat, to shade my eyes from your utter brilliance. You mean to say that you are in need of a shield to protect your eyes? Lady Elsa, why don't you submit a request for a pair of sunglasses then? For my mentor. Only if it is not much of an imposition on the budget, of course. Sunglasses? That, right there, that is what I keep telling you not to do. You can't just say yes to every single thing that he's saying and turn it into a supplement request. Small expenses add up a lot, you know. You gotta save up everything that you can in the piggy bank when you still can. Or you just end up being broke. Is there truly no room for reconsideration, though? No means no. Then pray make the purchase for me, for I shall cover the costs myself. Is she crazy? Is she crazy for him? Huh? What? No can... What? My poor mentor is in a state of great discomfort, you see? Yet I possess neither the wisdom nor the knowledge to navigate the silver tongue of merchant and a maze of stalls to locate the very best item, so I must beg this favor of you. You're giving me a freaking headache, girl! I am aware that you and yours are not strangers to such dealings. There's no one else that I can trust to complete such a procurement with swiftness of the wind. You know what? Never mind what I said. I'll just get you what you want. Elsa gave up? The hell? Did you hear that, gentle lady, mentor? Your suffering shall soon be alleviated. Right. Oh, my apologies for interrupting you amidst your conversation. Pray, continue. You have reached the part where they've invited you to tour another department. Is she a yandere? Is she actually crazy for him? Oh my god. No sooner Angdu's words had left her lips than her eyes glinted with something that I couldn't really put my fingers on. But it was a strange intention that sent chills down my spine. She doesn't want to get separated from him. Clearly. Yeah, so that day I was just gonna relax here and watch some TV, and well, good on you for showing up for work today, huh? Yes. Let's say that there's a debt that I have to repay. At least you understand that we are indeed indebted to the company. Yeah, I suppose that I do. Kim's gaze lingered on Angdu's prosthetic arms as he answers. Oh, Miss Angdu, your arms, are they fine? Only after following Kim's gaze did Sinclair seem to notice her arms. Yeah. The last time that we saw her, Angdu had lost both her arms, and I remember Elsa asking her to sit tight and choose what type of prosthetic that she wants. Those arms are probably it. It's not just the arms either. Even her clothes are different now. And that sword. Ooh. I had these arms fitted new as soon as the operation was concluded. The gracious host in one of the LCD team had prepared them in advance. With evident satisfaction, Angdu held her dark metallic wrist as if to showcase them. The component fixed along her arms clicked and rattled, unfolding for a moment before neatly falling back into place. Oh! Now that is some graceful smoothness. Wedged to machine articulation as well. This is as though I'm beholding the marvelous prosthetic of the illustrious Siegfried himself. Yep. I guess the showcase would have been lackluster without the trademark of reaction. True. Those are strikingly similar to the Schwarz Industries N7 lineup, but I thought that model was, discontinued. No, not theirs. It's one of the prototypes developed by the LCD's phenomenon deciphering team, and they put them on her for trial. Doubt you will find another like them in the long run. They are based on technology spun from distortions. Ooh, that explains the smoothness. Oh, well, I see. For a brief moment, Sinclair's eye lit up as he had glimpsed something that brought him back to memories. Then, just as quickly, he fell silent. Whatever he wanted to say next is... it's chest, I guess. Oh? Does something bother you, Master Sinclair? Well... he has his own personal shares of experience with prosthetics, right? It wasn't hard to understand what struck the tender memory of Sinclair, and why it cast a shadow over his face. But... I'm sorry. It just reminded me of something from a long time ago. My dad used to work for Mnestic as well, before he passed away. I thought this was the exact same model that I saw back then. Oh, it appears I lack tact there. These arms are stirring painful memories within you. For that, I have to apologize. No, it's alright. I'm fine now. Sinclair's voice is still carrying a faint tremor, but beneath it, there was a firmness that had not been here before. You really had grown. Great being. And you can thank yours truly for picking that sword, though. I was there with her. I did inform Lady Erza that any blade that could serve as a weapon would suffice, but she insisted that I browse the goods. I dare say I was given the opportunity to lay my eyes on every type of sword that I could ever hope to see in my life, walking through the workshop, well, the streets, all day. Oh, please, girl. We've walked for 4 hours at most. That's nothing. Is he whistling? While everyone was distracted, taking in Angdu's new outfit and equipment, Kim had quietly slipped away from the crowd and crouched down in a corner. What are you doing? He was rummaging through things scattered on the floor, picking them up. Is he trying to pocket them? You're stealing? Anyways, what is this place supposed to be? And what are all of these things? It's basically a wreck now, but there are stroves and that cloth backdrop over there. Maybe it's used to be a photo studio or something. Oh yeah, looks very much like that. Oh, that would certainly explain why there are so many photographs stuck on the walls. Probably. This thing definitely looks like a camera to me, at least. Sinclair picks up a small cylinder object and turns it over in his hand, studying it with curiosity. So, what do you suppose that this is? A sort of battery, perhaps? Or maybe... I guess it's just a film. The stuff that you need to use in order to create the photographs. Oh! There's some kind of strip inside. Let me just pull it out. No! You're going to ruin the photos! No, that's... Assault? Orta shouted a sharp warning at Sinclair as she had realized something. But Massault's hand shot out before she even had to finish, clasping over Sinclair's wrist before the stripe could be pulled out. What did I do? Exposure to the sunlight will damage these objects. What? But I already pulled it out a little bit though, and it can be rebounded. Carefully rotate the rigid section of the cylinder. I'm currently blocking the sunlight from reaching the exposed section. Damage is of no concern right now. Whew, okay. I mean this one, right? This is the part that I have to rotate? Alright, I think it's back in. Thank you, Mnestic. I didn't even need to say anything. He did that by himself. With a quiet nod, Mnestic took the object from Sinclair's hand. Seems to be a film roll. Right. There's something written on the outside as well. Experiment number 4. It appears to be a compact roll of a film camera. You seem to have handled one before, see? Yes. Mnestic's answer came without any further explanation, but the way that he adjusted the camera on the table certainly didn't look like that of a first time. I once received a report containing photographs that take on film cameras during the war. Film rolls used by N-Corps are particularly difficult to falsify. They were often used to collect intelligence during secret operations. These film fix light directly onto the medium, but what I've heard. See. A peculiar expression flashes across Ersa's face as she regards Otis. Perhaps it was the mention of the war that has caught her attention. Anyways, we've managed to regroup in one piece, I see. Let's come up with a plan to deal with these distortion guys. How exactly should we even begin? Then, in the next breath, she returns to her usual bubbly self, steering the conversation away from the subject. Both Ersa and I, we are both still trying to be free of the misconception that we have been inflicting on self. For all her unfailing, perky disposition, Ersa too may be carrying traumatic memories every bit as devastating as Gregor's. Does there yet remain odd, deserving illumination? Oh, yeah, wait, you're right. Haven't we already cleaned up the distortion? I couldn't feel any more traces of the distortion at all, and it didn't seem like any of the other Sinner teams elsewhere were actively engaging in battle at the moment. Dante is asking whether the distortion's oppression has not, in fact, have already been concluded. Oh no, not yet. These people that we fought just now, right? They only got caught up in the distortion. They didn't actually distort themselves, right? They haven't even gotten close to the distortion infection point yet. Infection point? I see. Anyhow, finding the infection point without the team leader around is going to take some time. Maybe it won't be too bad with your help. I mean, you can sense them at least. Ersa swept her eyes around the room with a look of frustration, as though she had just been handed a puzzle box with half the pieces missing. By infection point, are you referring to the point on the graph in which the directionality of its curvature changes? Calling to mind the present context, it may less be a mathematical term and more of a specialized polyseme, referring to the point at which the distortion occurs, the motive, the intent, or indeed, the point in which affection of the mind occurs. Yeah, that's about right. That's the kind of infection point that I was talking about. So in our department, we use the term to mean the source of the distortion, the infector or cause behind it, stuff like that. You know, distortions are hard to treat if you don't know the cause. Treating the symptoms that you see on the surface, all that you like, but if you never find the root cause behind it, the distortion is never really going to be solved. So I guess you guys never really had to look into that kind of stuff, huh? Your boss clock opens a door into the fathom or whatever, and clears it out that way. True. You mean the dungeon of the fathom? Yes. Yep, that's it. That's the one. From where we are standing, distortions are really high maintenance, time-consuming headaches, you see? It is one thing to somehow manage to locate the infection point, but curing it is a completely different thing. But you guys can just march straight into someone's heart, knock the snout of everything in there, and ta-da! Patients ready for a discharge. That's how it works, right? I'm not gonna lie. I was so jealous when I first heard about it. I even bit my sleeve off, just so you know. Verily, I had thought that your team would set up for solving the distortion once the foe has been vanquished, as we are wont to do? Was that not it? Eh? Of course not! Why would anyone come to us with distortion suppression requests if it were that simple in the first place? But yeah, most of the time, people usually try the brute force approach first. And when things go south, they start sending requests to the companies or to our detective office. That means the client this time must have been bingo. Apparently the residents of Butter Streets had all chipped in to commission all kinds of agency like the SWI and the combat specialized fixer officers. But none of them could actually do a thing against them, and the job got passed on to us. Meaning, distortion phenomenon related to this kind of photograph is still occurring unchecked somewhere on the streets. Right, exactly. And that is why we gotta find something. Anything that might count as a clue. Erza gazes down at the people lying on the floor with a complicated expression. Neat ash gray suits and the logo on the collar of the uniform and briefcases. Hey, isn't this NCorp's logo? Come to think of it, wasn't my sold from this place? I was once employed in NCorp. What? You used to work for these guys? Yeah, he did mention that he used to work around here. Maybe he can offer us some insight around this place. Do you happen to know these guys, Massault? Yes. Do you? These are NCorp's Class 2 staff members. Given the camera briefcase in their possession, they are likely members of the pin-frame team of Service the Close. The Close? Massault recited the information as though he has pulled them from a file that he had already sorted out and placed in the back of the shelves in his mind. Okay, the pin-frame team, you say? Anything that you can tell us about them? Yes. It is one of the NCorp's many field departments related to information gathering and processing. Their primary duties include the handling of NCorp's internal information, analyzing of NCorp's internal intelligence, the sorting and arrangement of NCorp's internal information, intersector of... Okay? That's enough for now. Thank you for the informations. Wow! It's literally a talking encyclopedia or something. Here, another thing to be jealous about. You think it will be okay if we borrow him sometimes? It would definitely help us out quite nicely. Might be an issue for us if you just went and borrow our team encyclopedia, you know? Looks like everyone agrees that he's an encyclopedia at this point. Yeah. Anyways, your encyclopedia's right. They are from NCorp's pinframe team. I've seen them a few times before in the NCorp's nest. But why would people who are already busy enough with dealing with Nestcorp's affair come all this way out to the shabby backstreet like this? Do you have any guesses? Oh yeah, I mean that one film role was talking about an experiment. Maybe they're doing some kind of experiment with the people around here, which may or may not be linked to the distortion itself, huh? I am unable to determine that. What? The possible range of connection between the two pieces of information is exceedingly broad. Listing every related reason as to why they may have come here would require a considerable amount of time. Therefore, I will not present a determinative answer to that question. I see, but you already have an idea. It's just, right now there are too many options. Erza stares whole into me with an unspoken, "Is this guy always like this?" question, and wouldn't pull any answer from me, you know. Because aside from combat situation, I've still got no way to figure out what is going on in his head. Alright then. Okay, my sword. Maybe this will be easier to answer from an objective point of view. And that is when I noticed something that I've never imagined would have happened. What? Massoud's eyes widened. His gaze fixed me with such force that I almost could feel the faint tremor in them. A leveling stare that came with... There's no such thing as an objective point of view. Huh? Manager. Was that just a new expression? Ah! The facade is breaking! Yes! A clipped tone and a look almost bordering on rebuke. He's rebelling! He's rebelling! A given judgment may seem infinitely close to objective, but ultimately, all things are subjective, without exception. I was silent for a moment. I'm lost in thought. Part of it was because my sword's reaction had caught me off guard, but I also wonder whether this response might be connected as to why he would always refuse to make judgments for himself. And that has something to do with his turn, which knows around the corner. Right, I got it. Then tell me the 3 subject reasons that you think are most likely for why these people had to come all this way into the backstreet. I need to understand who it actually is as much as I can. Because I'll never know when I get another chance like this. You know, to actually get to know him if I brush this off with a simple, oh, I see, my bad, as usual. Yes, Manager. I would presume that the mission was one or all of the following. Retrieval of video recording or recording in violence of NCOP's taboo, prompting elimination of the violator, contact with the information in Backstreet collaborating with NCOP's nest, or identification and arrest of a wanted individual or individual assigned by the nest. No secret experiments? But what about the film thing? Oh, but then again, they returned, weren't they? Maybe they got caught into this. Never mind, maybe they aren't experimenting with distortions. Oh. A taboo, you say? You mean these people could be taboo hunters? Ah, no way! They don't just send out taboo hunters for every single violation, you know? Like, wings usually leave minor taboo violations to be handled by subcontractor fixer officers, or even employees of the department in charge. I would say these guys were just some normal NCOP staffs. Miss Angdu, what are you looking for in their pockets? I'm looking through their belongings for enlightening clues, yet be hidden in the sleeves of the folds of their garments. Lady Moss has gifted with the art of discerning the truth from what lies before, here with a single glance. Yet my eyes are foreign to such a feat. Let me just take a look too. This is an employee card. Okay, and this one is a wallet. So let's put that back. Don't really want to become robbers now, right? Oh, this might be it. It's an order missive. Erza pulls the sheet of paper out of an NCOP staff coat and reads its content aloud. Work details. Elimination of the individual of a Category 3 taboo violation. Address, Butter Street. This is the place. Which means all of this might be pointed to something. Whoever used to work in the study and the distortion phenomenon, they might be connected with each other. Yeah, now that you mention it, when that whole pop and change thing happened, it did kind of feel like a camera flash. Alright then, let's start by combing through this place. Let me know if you find anything that looks suspicious. Alright, at long last had the hours arrived for my duty as Detective Dawn! For suits! The Dawn must have been miffed for not getting to play detective before. You know, a D-Corp. No idea where she's keeping them though, but she immediately pulled out the detective probes that's been given to Rhodia, Ryoshu, and Honglu back then. Verily, I had foreseen that the day would come for me as well! Fortunately, Otis wasted no time putting an end to Dawn's badly timed shenanigans. A sharp dressing down from her was enough for her to put all of that stuff way in her bag. Yes. Alright then. We should get moving now. Sure.